All right, St. Thomas Hall goes back to about, 1975 is when the construction would have started. Benet's a school that has slowly expanded in stages. From its days of the as an orphanage, where St. Joseph's Hall, which was dedicated in 1911, then Benet Hall in 1921, and then what's now the Alumni Gymnasium in 1939. So the high school moves across the street when the orphanage closed in 1956. Formerly, it would have been on the same campus as the college and monastery. So then, as it gradually grew, the western suburbs were starting to fill in. I like to joke and say that, nearly 500,000 people came out to DuPage County when they realized St. Procopius Abbey was here. So they just filled in after World War II. But in any case, the school grew along with the Catholic population of DuPage County. And so in 1962, then, St. Martin's Hall, which is basically a classroom building, was put up. And that remained the case for the next few crucial years as, first of all, in 1967, the girls' school across the street, Sacred Heart Academy, that closed, and St. Procopius Academy absorbed the faculty and the students from Sacred Heart, and then changed its name to kind of create a new identity and became Benet Academy. That's 1967. And the boarding school was closed down at that time also. So with the girls there, plus, we're starting to reach our capacity. So we needed more space. And we also needed more modern science labs. The science labs in the school were in places that went back to, 1910 or 1920 for the most part, actually totally. And they weren't really, they were on the primitive side. They were on the primitive side. The teachers did their best with it. But we needed a modern laboratory building. And so that effort was begun in 1975.
I was assistant principal at Benet when we determined that we needed to do something to modernize the library. The library that we had was part of a building, a room, that was an orphanage. We moved our campus, high school campus, from the university's campus on the south side of Maple to the north side to what was before that an orphanage. And we turned it into a high school. So the library we had was kind of a big assembly hall that we turned to a library. And we were in dire need of having a decent, modern facility for the students. So the board decided that we would undertake building of this St. Thomas Hall. And the main purpose of Thomas Hall was to establish a library and then to upgrade some of our science facilities. So the second floor of St. Thomas Hall became the library. The first floor of St. Thomas Hall then was part of the science department, upgrading both facilities. We decided to call it St. Thomas Hall after Abbot Thomas, who, when he was Father Thomas, was the first principal on that campus. And he was a very caring, concerned person who gained the loyalty of some outstanding faculty members. At the time, we could not pay them the salaries that they could have gotten at the public school. But because of Father Tom, they were committed for him. And he was kind of the foundation, I think, of the campus on that site. So we decided we needed to recognize that and pay him tribute. So we named the facility St. Thomas Hall.
It had one unfortunate result, St. Thomas Hall did, and there was a beautiful breezeway connecting the two older buildings, St. Joseph's and Benet, and that had to be taken down. And there's now just a blank brick wall where that was. So that was unfortunate. But in general, it gave us modern science classrooms and also a modern library. A new library was established, a much larger one than had been the case. Some collaborative classrooms where people could study together for projects or whatever. And so by January of 76, it was ready for the Blessing Mass, which I attended. A number of the monks came over for it, as well as a good number of sisters from a Sacred Heart, and I believe also the Oblate Sisters. And so St. Thomas Hall continues to function today. It somewhat has changed its purpose because a yet newer science hall, St. Jude Hall, was opened in 2009. And now St. Mary's Hall, which includes different library space, was 2020, just recently. But St. Thomas Hall continues to be used for some of the science classes. I believe the physics classes are still in there. This week, St. Thomas Hall is going to be developing another new use, because with the beginning of the second semester of this year, and now 2021, we are adding 3D art classes to Benet. St. Mary's Hall gave enough room, and so one of the old biology classrooms in St. Thomas Hall, or what was at least originally a biology classroom, has been modified, transformed into a ceramics classroom, where Brother Kevin and the other art teacher will be teaching ceramics, pottery making, and so forth.